Have you ever been rejected, told no, not right now, or maybe it's not going to happen altogether? Well, one thing that I've dealt with consistently on this journey is rejection, being told no. Sometimes it's no, a permanent no, and sometimes it's not right now. Maybe the timing is off. Maybe the misalignment is there. Maybe what you want and what you need is not what you can get from that person, that place, that thing. Rejection is very, very tough to deal with. And this is why I want to talk about it today. One thing that will always be constant is being rejected. You're not always going to get a yes. You're not going to always get what you want. It's just the facts of it. But the thing that matters the most is how you deal with that rejection, how you deal with that no. And not only how you deal with it, how you process it, and paying attention to how it affects you. What I've been focusing on this week is rejection, because I've started to remember all the things that I wanted and desired that weren't in alignment for me. I've also been doing some very intense inner work on the rejection that I've received from other people, whether it was past relationships, friendships, or any of those things. The things that I wanted from them, wanting to keep certain people in my life. And the fact is, they didn't stay. They couldn't stay. For whatever the reason was, it was not aligned. But the thing is, over a period of time, that starts to weigh on you. It starts to affect your heart, your emotions, your thoughts. But most of all, it affects the way you move forward. It affects your confidence and your ability to engage in new relationships or go after the new job or take on new opportunities. See, we don't realize how rejection affects us, because a lot of times we're telling ourselves, it doesn't matter, I'm fine, it's no big deal. But in this video, we are going to uncover rejection. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've been rejected from, things that I wanted, people that I wanted, things that I had to deal with, the loss, the grief. If this sounds like something that's interesting to you, stay tuned. This is going to be good. For those of you that are new to my channel, hey, my name is Yazil. Welcome. It is a pleasure to have you. Get comfortable. This is the place where we do inner work. We dive deep on the self-love journey, being proactive and proclaiming our self-love by putting in the work. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. And if you have been with me for a while, welcome back. It is always a pleasure. So let's get into it. Rejection. So besides it being no, not getting what you want, and a disappointment, what is rejection really? Let's look at it. Let's talk about it, and let's unravel what's behind rejection. The way we process rejection or decide not to process rejection will have a very, very detrimental effect on our emotions, our mind, right? It will have a detrimental effect on our future, our perception, our confidence. A lot of people don't think about this, but over this past week, I have been sitting in my silence, sitting with myself, and really dealing with the emotions of rejection. When I think back into my early childhood days, all I can see is it outlined over and over with rejection. I didn't realize that's what it was, but it's exactly what it was. I wasn't raised by my parents. My grandmother, she did the best that she could. She was very strict, very intense. And she really wasn't an emotionally pleasing person. Okay, we'll just say that. When I think about my siblings, we didn't really have a tight connection or a tight bond. So now that I think about it, what this caused in me was always feeling rejected, always feeling unloved, unseen, right? This is the earliest memories for me. And I feel like it's important for us to go back as far as we can remember to feeling rejected. Me being a kid and seeing my siblings get things that I couldn't get, right? Going places that I couldn't go, right? Receiving love and affection in ways that I didn't receive. So this taught me early on that maybe I wasn't liked as much. I wasn't loved as much. At least that's the way I processed it. As I got older and I started to take on different relationships, friendships, get into different groups and clubs, I was always seeking acceptance, wanting to be loved, wanting to be liked, wanting to belong. But what came with that was a lot of rejection. A lot of people that I invested time and energy into, wanting to be friends, wanting to have best friends, wanting to have forever friends. And it didn't happen. I moved around a lot as a child. And when I got to be older, I also moved around a lot. So a lot of the relationships that I started, they were always stopping suddenly, abruptly. They would start and stop. And even when I stayed in places longer, I would start relationships and something would happen where the relationship would misalign and things wouldn't work out. Friendships, jobs, different opportunities. But I got told no a lot of times. Now we fast forward into today and I look over my life and all those relationships, all those friendships, all those opportunities that didn't work out. What do they say about me? How am I processing them? And what does it feel like? Well, I'll be honest with you. The other day, it all started flooding forward in my spirit, and I started thinking about all the things that didn't make it with me. And I realized it's time for me to grieve this loss, to process these things, to process the people that I thought would be with me. See, life gives us so many changes, and a lot of times we don't take the time to process those changes. Rejection being one of them. When you're rejected, what happens? How do you feel? Well, some of the most common feelings are shame, thinking that, oh, I'm not enough. What comes right behind that is anger. How could they tell me no? Who do they think they are? Why is this not working? Despair. Some people get into the emotions of thinking, I'll never have that thing that I want. I'll never have the love that I desire. I'll never have that relationship, right? Then comes in doubt. You start to think, well, maybe I didn't deserve it. Maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe this is my bad karma for something I did that this is a consequence. I don't get what I want. But all these negative emotions are negative ways of processing rejection. You see, there's two ways to look at rejection, at least in my opinion. There are things that we will be rejected for because we are not ready for what we are asking for. That means that we are getting a no because we are not ready. We have not done the work, we have not built the muscle, or we have not put in the time and energy to receive the thing we want. So that type of rejection is not right now. But can you realize, are you aware of the type of rejection you're in? Is it a not right now, or is it a no, not ever? It's something to think about, because the other side of rejection is no. This is not in alignment with you. And with that type of rejection, it's actually a great thing if you think about it. As I mentioned, all the things and all the people and all the places that I wanted, they were not in alignment with where I am today. I can easily look back on my life and say, wow, Had I taken that job, I wouldn't have had this opportunity. Had I stayed with this person, I wouldn't have done this. Had I held on to that friend, I would have ended up here. I can now look back on my life and realize why the things, the people, the places, the opportunities didn't work out. But the fact of the matter is, when we're dealing with rejection in real time, it's hard. It's hard to see how this is working out for your good. It's hard to deal with those emotions, those feelings, those thoughts when you are receiving that no and you're not getting what you want at that time. But this message here today is an indication that maybe you need to dig a little deeper. Take some time to examine what you want, and is it in alignment for you? Are you ready for what you want, or the person you want, or the thing, or the place you want to go? Right? This is so important. Another part of rejection is realizing when you have outgrown a version of yourself and you are still trying to grab onto and connect on a level that you've already surpassed. This kind of looks like when you start changing, evolving, growing, and getting into a higher state of consciousness. You want to connect with friends, family, people, places that you did before you grew, before you transformed. You want to still connect with them. You still want to talk with them, hang with them, spend time with them. But once you put yourself back in that space, you realize this doesn't satisfy me anymore. I'm not getting what I want. I feel unfulfilled. So in that energy, it can feel like a rejection. Matter of fact, a lot of times you have to reject the person, place, or thing, or they may reject you. It can go either way. For this, I want you to imagine the butterfly and the caterpillar, right? The metamorphosis process. The caterpillar and the butterfly are basically one. But what the caterpillar endures and what the butterfly endures are two completely different things. But I want you to imagine we have 6 caterpillars. 3 of the caterpillars go into the cocoon and they become butterflies. And the other 3 are still caterpillars. They have not went through their transformation process. Now I want you to try to imagine those same 3 butterflies talking to the caterpillar and trying to get the caterpillar to meet the butterfly at the treehouse. Hey, Mr. Caterpillar, would you like to come with me to the treehouse? I'd love to have you over. This is the butterfly. Now already we have a mismatch and a misalignment of communication because the butterfly would literally have to come to the ground in order to speak to the caterpillar. And once the caterpillar is there and they're on the ground, the caterpillar will have to say, yes, I would love to go. Or no, I don't want to go. How will I get all the way to the treehouse? The caterpillar will say, well, the butterfly will say, it's easy. You just go towards it. I'll show you the way. Now, I know this is easy to tell, that a butterfly can simply fly to the top without thinking twice. But the caterpillar will have to use all its energy. It will have to exert every ounce of energy to get the distance to the tree, then get up the tree and climb the distance. Do you see that level of work and what it will require for the caterpillar to leave its comfort zone to try to get on the level of the butterfly? It's a lot. By the time the butterfly makes it to the top of the treehouse, the caterpillar will probably just be beginning its journey. And that's what misalignment looks like. Even though the caterpillar has the best of intention, the butterfly has the best of intention, they want to connect, they want this relationship to work, they want to do this thing, it's not aligned. The point is, We have to be able to identify when what we want don't align. It's hard because we put so much expectations and our desires and our hopes and our wishes into things, and we want them to turn out. But what I found out is I'd rather be fully aligned than not. I'd rather get a many no's than to get yeses that turn out not so good, right? So one thing we can do with dealing with rejection is we can affirm and ask for the guidance to be able to have awareness and discernment on what is for us and what is not. And when we start to outgrow people, places, and things, that we will have the discernment to identify that we have outgrown it. Since we've outgrown it, we have the ability to release it with love. A lot of times when we don't get what we want and we go through rejection, we start to process it with anger, getting mad and feeling like someone is trying to attack us, feeling like we are in danger. Matter of fact, our nervous system processes it as a loss. It tells us that we're in danger, that something's bad is happening, that we've done something wrong, that we've done something bad. But you have to be able to identify this so that you can shift the way that you look at it, so that you can process it appropriately. Okay? So now let's talk about the healthy response and the unhealthy response to rejection. The healthy response will be processing the emotions you feel. The unhealthy response will be suppressing the emotions you feel. Okay? So the natural negative response is suppression, pushing down your feelings, lying about your feelings, avoiding your feelings, telling yourself, this doesn't matter. I didn't really want it anyway. It's no big deal. I don't even care, right? The fact of the matter is you're immediately lying. You're going into survival mode. You're going into the ego. You're going on defense. You're trying to protect yourself from feeling the loss. Well, I'm here to tell you that is not how you deal with it. I don't care if it's a heartbreak, a job, a opportunity, a person, a relationship, whatever it is. If you went after it, there was a desire. There was something you wanted. There was something you were seeking from that. When you didn't get it and you were told no, you were rejected, there is a loss. There is a feeling. You have to feel that feeling, because if you decide that you will not process it, it will turn into self-doubt, anger, resentment, bitterness, right? It will turn into low self-esteem. It changes the way you see yourself. It changes your confidence. A lot of people, when they're rejected, they start numbing, going towards addictive and toxic behaviors. Some people also like to get validation. If one person told them no, if one opportunity told them no, they try to replace it quickly with something else to make them feel good about themselves. But I'm telling you, this is not the answer. Because what will happen is, because you have a negative perception of what happened, you will process it negatively, and then you will act upon it negatively. Sometimes the no that you receive now is not forever. It's not now. But imagine you process the rejection in a negative way, and then the opportunity comes around again and you don't receive it. Because now you feel like, oh, I don't want it. It's no big deal. Instead of doing the inner work and saying, wow, I wasn't ready for that opportunity. What can I do to get myself in alignment? What this looks like is like, for example, someone who wins the lottery. Would you want to win the lottery at a time that you don't have any financial knowledge, any financial literacy. You've never had a large amount of money. You don't know what to do with the money, and you don't know how to grow the money. Say, for instance, you received that lump sum. You got what you wanted, but in a year, all of it's gone. Then you're living with a new emotion of regret because you weren't in alignment for it. You got what you wanted and you blew it. Now you're sitting there thinking of all the things you could have done, all the things you wish you had done, all the things you should have done. That doesn't feel good. See, for me, I'd rather receive the rejection and take the time to do the inner work, realizing if I get this opportunity, I need to know what to do with it. So this is how we enter into the healthy processing of rejection. When you want something and then you're told no, ask yourself, am I ready for the thing that I want? If I received it today, how would I behave? How would I operate? Right? Going back to winning the lottery. If you won the lottery, how would you behave? What would you do with the money? How would you invest it? How would you build it, grow it? These are things to think about. A lot of times we ask for things and the universe, God, creator says no because we're not ready. And then there's things that we want, but they're not in alignment because we've outgrown them. I just want you to take the time to think about how this all plays a part in your healing journey. Our positive way of processing is this: feel the emotion. Tell yourself the truth. If you are hurt behind the way you were rejected, you didn't get what you want, say it. I'm hurting. I'm sad. This is what I feel. But then you also have to go back and say, I understand that a no doesn't mean that I am unworthy. A no doesn't mean that I'm undeserving. A no does not mean that I am not capable. And a no definitely does not mean that I don't have the potential. We cannot tear ourselves down when we get a no, when we don't get what we want. We actually have to go overtime building ourselves up because it's easy to fall into low self-esteem. Our confidence starts to dwindle. But no, not anymore. We are going to process rejection the proper way. We can release whatever it is. There's no need to hold on to it. If you still want the thing, you can work towards it, but that takes time, growth, and development. And by the time you grow and develop new parts of yourself, you may open up an entirely new opportunity for yourself. So this message is just here to encourage you that what is for you will not pass you by. What is for you will not miss you. But it is up to you to do the inner work to figure out what's for you and what is not for you. And always ask for guidance. Always ask for the ability to see and to know what's best for you. I have truly enjoyed this video and making the time and energy available to discuss this, because I promise you, this is hard. It's not easy. And a lot of times this is something that goes unnoticed. It's thrown to the back burner and we never even think about it until we are weighed down with heavy emotions. I want you to be free. I want you to feel light in your energy. I want you to be able to be confident in moving forward when setbacks occur. The last thing that I would like to talk about when it comes to rejection is realizing that rejection is powerful. It has the ability to teach you resilience. I can definitely say, as I look back over my life, all the challenges, all the things that I've overcame, all the no's, all the slammed doors, the disappointments, the broken hearts, all of it has made me resilient. I am the one who will bounce back as soon as I fall. It may take a little time, it may hurt, but I will pick myself up, and so will you. It does not matter what you have been rejected for, who have walked out of your life, the things you have lost, the people you had to let go. It is all working for your good, and it is all designed to make you stronger, better, and resilient. You are building muscles that you cannot build unless you go through this process. Rejection is a new form of redirection. And as the other saying goes, rejection is God's protection. Let it go. Release it. Move forward. Because what is for you will never pass you by. That's all for today, y'all. I love y'all. You know how the saying goes, healing is possible, but we got to do the work. Feel free to get in the comments, like, share, subscribe. It is always a pleasure. Until next time, continue to take care of you because you need you the most.